Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you have had a brilliant start to 2025. Now, in this video, I just want to talk about the changes to the booking system with regards to the practical driving test. As we all know, trying to get a practical test is as rare as finding gold dust at the moment, and it has been since COVID. I've been teaching people to drive for 19 years. It has never been like this before. Okay, this is an issue which was started from COVID, but in my opinion has not been resolved by the DVSA in the way that it really should have been, and now they're having to pick up the pieces and try to remedy a problem. Now, some of you may know what happens is you've got companies that are basically taking people's tests. So for instance, you want a practical test, you can't find one, you contact one of these companies, you give them your driving license details, your theory test, and they book a test on your behalf. Or for a little bit cheaper with most companies, you book your own test anywhere in the country, you then give them that, then they'll basically try to swap you for somebody else's test. And that's where the issue is swapping. And in my opinion, all of this problem can be resolved by them just stopping swapping. So what happens is those companies will either phone up the DVSA and speak to a call handler. The call handler will then basically do the swap. It's wasting DVSA's time, and a DVSA employee shouldn't really be doing the job of these companies to make them money, not the DVSA, in my opinion. Or they're doing it online with multiple devices, and as soon as they cancel it on one device, it comes up on the other device, so then they're able to take that as soon as it becomes available, and no one else is going to really hit that because it's coming up instantly. And that's what I think they should do, is basically not allow the test to be put back into the domain instantly. It should be released at a random time. Then it's a bit more fair play for everyone. Then you haven't got somebody just instantly taking it from one laptop to another. Now, the other things that the DVSA are saying that they're doing to resolve these issues, and I'm going to just read it from their email to us, because they're changing the terms and conditions for the people that are using the booking system. So only driving instructors or businesses that employ driving instructors can use the service to book car driving tests. Now, they've already got around this, these companies, because in the last month, I've received a few text messages, WhatsApps, emails from companies saying, "Do you want to be a franchisee of our amazing driving school? We'll give you customers for nothing. All you need to do is give us your details." And for me, I'm lucky enough. I've got plenty of clients. I've got a waiting list. But there's a lot of driving instructors out there that don't have that privilege, and they are going to be desperate, and they will give these companies their details. Now, they've got access to the system. I don't think that's going to resolve the issue. Second thing, approved driving instructors must not book driving tests on behalf of learner drivers they are not teaching. How are they going to police that? I can't really see how they can, to be honest with you. Yes, some driving instructors, myself, I will always keep my ADI badge on display, but a lot of driving instructors don't, and they don't have to. And that's another issue that I think needs to be resolved. The last thing, users of the system cannot book tests using a learner's detail. There should be an S on the end of that one. That they have no intention of that learner driver ever using. Grammatically, it's a terrible email, and that's from the DVSA. But anyway, but again, how can they police that? It's impossible, really, for them to police. So I don't think what they're doing is really going to make any difference at the moment. Whether steps 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will be better, we will see. But I honestly think the whole thing can be very easily resolved just from them stopping the allowance of swaps. It's as simple as that. Now, step 1 of this, and I didn't do a video because, again, I've been too busy, but I will do more videos this year, I promise you, is that they're going to recruit another 300, 450 driving examiners every year, or every 6 months, whatever it is. And I just think, number one, they're a million miles off of being able to recruit that amount of examiners, and they're leaving just as quickly as they seem to be going in. Like 2 of the examiners in a local test centre, one of which was a test centre manager, they have become driving instructors because the money is not good enough. And that's a test centre manager, and he was a fantastic driving examiner, but they've lost him now to the good side of the industry of being a driving instructor. And I say that with a bit of a joke in my heart, really, but it's a very hard job being a driving examiner, and it's not something I would personally do. The pay is pathetic. Its starting wage is about £26,000 a year, goes up to about 32, and then you have to wait like 7 years before you go up. It's a civil service job, so it only goes up in bands, and it's pretty much blood money. You know, it's like I'm in a pretty good environment in my car. I can take control of the steering wheel, as can they, and I've also got dual controls, which they don't always have. I would not like to be sitting next to somebody that might not be able to drive in a car with no dual controls. Good example, one of the examiners in Barnet, really nice guy, he's been retired for a few years now, but ended up on its roof on an embankment after rolling down it because he didn't have a dual control. There's no way I'd want to do that job for that pittance of a wage, really. And I know it's still a lot of money for a lot of people, but in the modern world it doesn't seem to be, especially in London. I don't really get what the DVSA is doing, and that's why I've put this video out. I want to see your opinions. I'd like to see your comments and your views on whether you think the DVSA's actions are going to improve these waiting times, whether there's more information that you would like to see. That's from what's something that I would like to see. I would want to see what the next steps are going to be, although I can appreciate they're probably holding that back because they don't want that being in public domain. But also whether you think the idea of swaps or banning swaps would also be beneficial. I just want to show you one more thing as well, and this is something that I dare say pretty much every single driving instructor in the country is probably receiving, is on WhatsApp. We get companies that are basically WhatsApping us saying, look, do you want this test? Do you want this test? I'm not going to show you the details because I don't want this being sort of publicised, and I don't want these companies really being used because it's half the problem. But yeah, look how many tests are coming up. You know, I don't even cover St Albans, but these are all the tests that this just one company has got, and there's more. So this is another company. You know, not so much as the last one, but still quite a few. One last thing that I wanted to add to this as well is that although the DVSA are restricting access to the online system for non-driving instructors, there are driving instructors that are also making a lot of money from selling tests. So much so that I know 2 driving instructors that no longer teach because of the amount of money they make from selling tests. And I'll be honest, I feel like a mug sometimes that I didn't take advantage of the system when others were. I think I've probably got too strong a moral compass, but it is a system that can be exploited, and in my opinion I just think it needs to go. I don't personally book tests. I don't think driving instructors really need to book tests. I know some will probably argue that they do, but the students can book their own tests, and it's just another reason why people can exploit the system. Under my belief, the online system was booked or initially started for motorcycle tests, and then car test was introduced to it. So just go back, get rid of the car tests and only allow the motorcycle instructors to book them. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'd like to know your views, because who knows, the DVSA might be watching and listening and possibly taking my badge off me for slating them. But they might see your view. So comment what you think would work and whether you think there are alternative options that could be more effective. And yeah, who knows, we might see some change this year. We definitely live in hope. So again, Happy New Year to you all. Hope this year is a very long, safe and healthy one for you all, and I look forward to seeing your comments underneath.